Can you hear that roar, brother? It's not just a sound, it's the echo of an era, a cultural phenomenon that transcended the squared circle. For generations, one name stood taller than any other, a beacon of strength, charisma, and pure, unadulterated Americana, Hulk Hogan. Today, we gather not in sorrow, but in profound reverence and heartfelt celebration. We honor the life, the legacy, and the indelible spirit of Terry Gene Bollea, the man who became the immortal Hulk Hogan. Though the final bell has rung for our beloved Hulkster, his story, his impact, and the spirit of Hulkamania will live forever in our hearts. There are entertainers, and then there are icons. People whose presence doesn't just fill a stage or a wrestling ring, it fills the very fabric of our culture, shaping our childhoods and defining an entire generation. For professional wrestling, for pop culture, for millions of us who grew up believing in the power of good, that person was unequivocally Hulk Hogan. The thunderous roar of Hulkamania wasn't merely a sound. It was the soundtrack to an era of boundless optimism and larger-than-life heroes. It was a rallying cry that united millions, from the youngest fan in the nosebleeds to the seasoned wrestling purist. And though the man behind it all, Terry Gene Bollea, passed away July 24, 2025, age 71 years, from a heart attack, his story, his unparalleled charisma, and his monumental impact refuse to fade away. Instead, they resonate louder than ever, a timeless anthem of inspiration. The medical examiner confirmed acute myocardial infarction, a heart attack, as the cause. It's a stark, humbling reminder of our shared human vulnerability, even for a man who seemed invincible. He had faced a history of irregular heartbeat and battled blood cancer, yet he always carried himself with the indomitable presence of a titan, a man who could stare down any challenge life dared to throw at him. It's a strange, poignant paradox, isn't it? How the strongest, most seemingly unbreakable figures can harbor such vulnerable battles behind the curtain, away from the spotlight. But perhaps that's precisely why Hogan resonated so deeply with us, why he became more than just a character. Because even when he was larger than life, a superhero in red and yellow, there was always that subtle, comforting reminder. He was human too. He was one of us, albeit a supersized, super charismatic version. This vulnerability, this shared humanity, only deepened our connection to the legend. Let's cast our minds back to 1984. The Cold War was a distant hum. Pop culture was exploding with vibrant colors, audacious fashion, and infectious music. And professional wrestling was poised on the precipice of stepping into the dazzling mainstream spotlight. The stage was set, the world was ready for a hero, and then, like a bolt of lightning, entered Hulk Hogan. He stood 6'7", a towering figure of pure muscle and magnetic energy. His voice, a gravelly rumble, was instantly recognizable, a powerful instrument that could command an arena. And those arms, oh, those arms! They looked as if they had been personally designed by a comic book artist, bulging with power, ready to tear down any obstacle. He wasn't just a wrestler, he was a living, breathing superhero, a real-life Captain America for a generation hungry for heroes. He didn't merely win the WWF Championship, he didn't just defeat the Iron Sheik. He won the audience, capturing their imaginations and their unwavering loyalty with every flex, every pose, every defiant stare. Every single entrance felt like a sold-out rock concert, a spiritual revival. Every match was a high-stakes drama, a cinematic masterpiece unfolding before our very eyes. He didn't just perform, he connected, forging an unbreakable bond with his Hulkamaniacs. His meteoric rise didn't just mark a new chapter, it ushered in what wrestling historians, and indeed all of us who lived through it, affectionately call the Golden Era. This wasn't just about unprecedented money or groundbreaking TV deals. It was about something far more profound. Fans believed again. They believed in the good guy, they believed in the power of dreams, and they believed in the magic that could only happen inside a wrestling ring. It was a time of pure, unadulterated joy and collective fantasy. And then came the moment that etched itself into the annals of sports and pop culture history, WrestleMania III. The Pontiac Silverdome, a colossal cathedral of dreams, was packed to its absolute limit, with an astonishing 93,000 screaming fans. The air crackled with anticipation, a palpable energy that could be felt for miles around. Standing across the ring, an immovable force of nature, was André the Giant, a legend, unbeaten for nearly 15 years, a true eighth wonder of the world. When Hogan, against all odds, against every logical expectation, hoisted André the Giant onto his shoulders and slammed him to the canvas, it wasn't just a wrestling move. It was a cultural earthquake, a seismic shift that reverberated far beyond the confines of the arena. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated triumph, a testament to the power of belief. Even people who had never watched a single minute of wrestling talked about it at school, at work, at the dinner table the next day. That was the magic of Hulk Hogan. That was the power of Hulkamania. It transcended sport. It became a shared cultural experience, a moment of collective awe that we still talk about today. A hero is only as great as the villains he conquers, and Hogan's legend was forged in the crucible of unforgettable rivalries. Let's talk about the epic clashes that defined an entire generation of wrestling fans, battles that felt less like matches and more like mythological confrontations. First, there was Rowdy Roddy Piper, pure, unadulterated chaos in kilt form. Their rivalry wasn't just physical, it was a clash of ideologies, a battle between the ultimate good guy and the ultimate rule breaker. Piper's unpredictable antics and venomous promos were the perfect foil to Hogan's unwavering heroism, creating a dynamic tension that kept us on the edge of our seats, desperate to see who would prevail. Their feud was the spark that ignited the Golden Era, a foundational conflict that set the stage for everything that followed. Then came the Macho Man Randy Savage, equal parts brilliance and madness, a whirlwind of intensity and athletic prowess. The Mega Power storyline, a saga of friendship, betrayal, and ultimate confrontation, captivated millions. Their rivalry wasn't just about a championship, it was about trust, ego, and the heartbreaking dissolution of a powerful alliance. Every interaction, every glare, every move was imbued with profound emotional stakes, making their WrestleMania V main event a truly unforgettable, deeply personal battle that resonated with fans on a visceral level. And who could forget the Ultimate Warrior, like someone had strapped a rocket to pure adrenaline, a whirlwind of painted muscle and primal screams. Their clash at WrestleMania 6, a passing of the torch moment, was a spectacle of two titans colliding, a battle for the very soul of the WWF. It was a testament to Hogan's willingness to elevate others, to create moments that would live on long after the final bell. Hogan didn't just fight opponents, he fought characters, larger-than-life personalities who pushed him to his limits and, in doing so, elevated his own legend. It was theater meets athletics, meets Saturday morning cartoons, a perfect, intoxicating blend of drama, athleticism, and pure, unadulterated fun. And it worked gloriously. It created a universe where good and evil were clearly defined, where every match felt like a moral imperative. And don't even get me started on the promos. The sheer, unadulterated magic of Hogan on the microphone was a masterclass in captivating an audience. When Hogan pointed his finger directly at the camera, his eyes burning with intensity, and bellowed, "Whatcha gonna do, brother, when Hulkamania runs wild on you?" We didn't have an answer, but we knew, deep in our bones, that it was going to involve a devastating leg drop, a triumphant pose, and a sea of cheering Hulkamaniacs. It was more than a catchphrase, it was a promise, a declaration of intent that sent shivers of anticipation down our spines. It was the ultimate call to action, and we answered every single time. By the mid-1990s, the wrestling world was undergoing a seismic shift. Fans were evolving, demanding edgier storylines, more grit, and a departure from the traditional good versus evil narratives. The landscape was changing, and the industry needed to adapt. And Hogan, ever the visionary, ever the master of reinvention, did just that. Gone was the all-American hero, the red and yellow paragon of virtue. In came a shocking, audacious transformation. Hollywood Hogan of the New World Order. He traded his vibrant colors for stark black and white gear, grew a menacing black beard, and adopted a villainous swagger that sent shockwaves through the wrestling world. He was no longer the hero. He was the ultimate antagonist, the leader of a rebellious faction that sought to take over the industry. It was nothing short of genius. It was a bold, calculated risk that paid off spectacularly. He stayed relevant, not by clinging to the past, but by completely flipping the script, by embracing the dark side. He became the most hated man in wrestling, yet paradoxically, he was more compelling than ever. And whether fans booed him with venomous passion or cheered him with a rebellious glee, one thing was certain: they still watched. They couldn't tear their eyes away. That's true power. That's the mark of a true icon who understands the ebb and flow of popular culture. He didn't just adapt, he dominated the new landscape. Hulk Hogan's influence wasn't confined to the wrestling ring. He transcended the sport, becoming a ubiquitous pop culture brand, a household name recognized by millions who might never have watched a single wrestling match. He was everywhere, a larger-than-life presence that permeated every corner of entertainment. He starred in movies like Suburban Commando and Mr. Nanny, films that, while perhaps not critical darlings, cemented his status as a mainstream personality. He made countless TV appearances, launched a wildly popular reality show, Hogan Knows Best, which offered a glimpse into his family life, and appeared in an endless stream of commercials. Sometimes cheesy, often hilarious, but always, unmistakably, pure Hogan. His unique blend of charisma and self-awareness made him a natural fit for the camera, regardless of the medium. And here's the truly remarkable thing: he was genuinely everywhere. My grandma might not have known a suplex from a sleeper hold, but she absolutely knew Hulk Hogan. He was a cultural touchstone, a symbol of the 80s and 90s, a figure so ingrained in the collective consciousness that his image alone evoked a sense of nostalgia and recognition. He wasn't just a wrestler, he was a phenomenon, a brand, a beloved fixture in the tapestry of American entertainment. The red and yellow bandana, the iconic handlebar mustache, the bulging muscles, the theatrical poses, they were all part of the show, essential components of the larger-than-life character we adored. But the man behind the persona, Terry Bollea? He possessed a profound depth, a softer side, and a genuine heart that often went unseen by the masses. There are countless heartwarming stories that paint a picture of Hogan's true character. Stories of him meeting fans, taking extra time to connect with children, visiting hospitals to bring smiles to the faces of young patients battling illness, and making countless individuals feel seen, valued, and truly special. For many, it wasn't about the championships he won or the main events he headlined. It was about the firm handshake, the personalized autograph, the genuine smile, the moment he made them feel like the most important person in the world. He understood the power of his platform, the responsibility that came with being a hero to so many. He used his fame not just for personal gain, but to spread joy, offer hope, and inspire countless acts of kindness. He embodied the very spirit of what he preached in the wrestling ring: believing in yourself, never giving up, and always saying your prayers and taking your vitamins. His compassion was as legendary as his leg drop, leaving an enduring impact on the lives of those he touched. He was a true humanitarian, a gentle giant with a heart as big as his biceps. On that final day in Florida, when the call went out for medical help, the world didn't yet know that a monumental chapter was quietly closing. The authorities confirmed there was no suspicious activity, no foul play, just life in its most natural, inevitable progression. A quiet, dignified departure for a man who lived so loudly, so vibrantly. And that's how legends sometimes go. Not with a thunderous roar, but with a gentle fade. Quietly, naturally, leaving the rest of us with an empty seat at the table, a void in our hearts, but a head overflowing with cherished memories, a lifetime of inspiration, and an enduring sense of gratitude for the joy he brought us. It's a poignant reminder that even the greatest among us are ultimately human, bound by the same fragile threads of existence. His passing marks the end of an era, but the beginning of an eternal legacy. Here's my take, and I believe it's a sentiment shared by millions. Hogan's legacy isn't just in the highlight reels of his incredible matches, or the staggering sales of his merchandise, or the records he broke. It's in something far more profound, far more personal. It's in the way he made us feel. It's in that instinctive urge to cup your hand to your ear, as if you're still hearing the thunderous cheers of a packed arena. It's in the strength you find to stand tall, even when life has got you on the ropes, battered and bruised. It's in the unwavering belief in the ridiculous yet utterly beautiful idea that one person, through sheer will and charisma, can inspire millions to believe in themselves, to chase their dreams, and to never give up. That, my friends, is Hulk Hogan living on. That is the enduring spirit of Hulkamania. Hulkamania wasn't just a wrestling gimmick. It wasn't just a marketing ploy. It was a mindset. It was a philosophy. It was a call to action for every single one of us to believe in ourselves, to fight for what's right, and to always, always say our prayers and take our vitamins. And brother, I truly believe we could all use a little more of that unwavering spirit, that infectious optimism, that boundless belief in the power of good in our lives today. So let's raise an imaginary championship belt to the sky, a collective salute to the immortal Hulkster. Not because Hogan never lost, for even legends face defeat, but because he showed us, time and time again, how to keep coming back, how to overcome adversity, how to stand tall even when the odds were stacked against him. He taught us the true meaning of resilience, of heroism, and of the power of a dream. Go ahead and give that like button a little tap. It's like a secret handshake for YouTube, a way to show this tribute to other awesome people like us, fellow Hulkamaniacs and fans of true legends. Plus, it makes the algorithm smile, and we all know a happy algorithm is a generous one. Share this video with a fellow wrestling fan, a nostalgic 80s, 90s kid, or anyone who needs a dose of inspiration. Drop your favorite Hulk Hogan moment, your most cherished memory, or how he inspired you in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Trending Moment Now for more stories that keep the legends alive, celebrating the icons who shaped our world. Thank you, Hulkster. Thank you for everything. In memory of Hulk Hogan, 1953 to 2025.